guys, thanks for clicking and welcome to my channel. So today what I wanted to talk about was the one diet that is going to work for every single person, and it's going to help you lose a lot of weight really quickly. So I actually lost 30 pounds in 6 weeks, and I wanted to share with you guys how I got there and what I did. And it's an amazing diet. It is something that I've told many friends and they've seen similar results. They've actually lost quite a bit of weight as well. And I'm happy to report that we're all happy and we eat cake every single day. It's amazing. So if you want to know what this diet is, it's BS. I'm sorry. So I do want to talk about diets today, or your diet, not diets. And I wanted to basically just let you guys know how I feel, because I think it gets a little bit confusing on the internet to hear about fad diets versus a diet or a lifestyle change or whatever's going to work for you, sustainability. Like, it's very hard to go between them because they all can be used interchangeably, and a lot of fitness people will actually use them as like hype words or words to trick you into thinking that it's going to be a fast, sexy, amazing process that you're going to be able to eat whatever you want. There's actually a diet called the cookie diet where you eat 2 cookies per each meal, and it's like up to 5 times a day or something, but it ends up being like 1,000 calories a day because these cookies are just, I don't know what that would be, like 150 calories per cookie or something, and it ends up being quite a starvation type situation at that point, and that's why it works. So something I wanted to talk about really quick too is with any lifestyle change that you make or any change you make to your diet, which your diet, when I say it, is just what you eat. So any change that you make to it is going to basically like put your body into high drive. So the first week you will notice that you lose a ton of weight. And why that happens is because you're holding water in your muscles, because that's what carbs do, is they hold water in your muscles. And when you go on a diet, it's usually a lower carb diet, because say if you're not paying any attention, you're just eating, you eat McDonald's and you eat, I don't know, so for breakfast you have McDonald's, and then for lunch you have Subway, and then you go home and you make something like frozen fries with chicken and frozen vegetables, and then you have your snacks. So you have some chips and some chocolate and some cookies and some fruit, things like that in there. Then you are holding a lot more water in your body, because those foods are going to be very high in carbs, but they're also going to be very high in sodium, which also retains water, and very high in fat most of the time. So like a chicken breast is going to have almost no fat, where a frozen chicken breast that's breaded is going to have upwards to like 20 grams. So when you're eating those things and you say you're maintaining your weight, you're not gaining, or you are gaining, or you're staying the same, then once you switch over from, say, even taking half of that away and making it more non-processed foods, like instead of McDonald's for breakfast, you're now having 2 eggs and some whole wheat toast, and then you're having your Subway still, but then you go home and instead of having the bagged fries, you're having cut up potatoes. Just doing that little bit is still gonna make your body completely change, in the sense that you're now, say you went from 2,500 milligrams sodium to 1,000. It's whatever. I don't really pay much attention to sodium, but just say it cut down that bit, then you're still gonna let go of a lot of water. So that's why in your first week of working out and eating better foods that you are going to lose a lot of weight. Like when I started my contest preps after my rebounding, I would always lose like upwards to 10 pounds in a week. And it was because my body was holding on to so much water. It's not 10 pounds of fat. To lose 10 pounds of fat, that would be 35,000 calories that you have to burn. Like, it's not doable in a week. So that is why you'll lose the most in the first week. And then after that, it'll hopefully like be a lot less. Because if you're losing 10 pounds a week, that is not sustainable. That is not okay. That there's something going on there. And even though you think it's like amazing, I'm telling you right now, it is not going to be amazing in 3 months or in 2 months or in 1 month when you can't do it anymore. So you have to just start eating normal again, and then you're just going to gain all that weight back. So I wanted to talk about what a fad diet is. So a fad diet would be something like these detox teas, or like a juice cleanse, or things where you eat something that you can't sit there and think, I'm going to do this for the next 5 years of my life, or for the rest of my life, which is the goal, is to get something you can do for the rest of your life. If you're doing something that's like, oh, and you're thinking in your head, in 30 days when I'm at the weight that my goal weight, then I'm going to eat so many pizzas. Like, that's not the way it works. Then you're just gaining the weight back. So you just wasted like hundreds of dollars on these detox teas to gain the weight back in 30 days and then more, because your body now doesn't trust you. So I don't want to offend anybody, and I'm not saying that the person that is doing this is in the wrong, because I'm not a hypocrite. Like, I've done it. I used to take, I think it was like white kidney pills, because I thought if I ate those, that they would block the carbs. So if I was going to eat 100 carb meal, I'm only actually going to get 50, because that's what the girl sold them to me said. Like, you'll get half the carbs that are in the food. So you eat this as like a carb blocker. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't exist. So fad diets are things that you have like a time frame of doing, and then after that time frame, you're going to go back to eating normal, or you're going to eat, like say you're going on vacation and you're doing something for 30 days to lose all this weight, so that when you're on vacation, you can just eat whatever you want. That's a fad diet. Or something like, if somebody tries to sell you on something and says, oh, drink this coffee and you're going to lose all this weight, and you don't have to change anything else. Like, you're eating 6 chocolate bars a day, you're eating 3 bags of chips, and you're eating pizza, can keep doing that, but just drink this coffee and you're going to lose all this weight. That is not true. It's not true. What happens is your brain drinks the coffee and you think, oh, I just spent $200 for this coffee, I better put in extra work. So now you go from sitting on the couch eating all these chips and chocolate bars and pizzas to going for walks every day. And then you start saying, you know what, I don't feel very good eating all those chocolate bars. Maybe I'll replace some of them with vegetables. And you're making changes outside of this coffee that you're drinking for $200 a month. And that is why you're losing weight. But what happens is usually after 30 days or 90 days or whatever, then you're like, okay, I did my diet, I'm going to go back to the normal thing. That is a fad diet. So that is something I am totally against. The reason why it upsets me is because people are using people's insecurities to sell these products. Like, they're looking at people and they're like me, for example, like they probably look at me and they're like, oh, this girl goes to the gym, but she's like not super fit. Like, she doesn't have a 6-pack, she doesn't have abs, and I don't know, whatever. And they're like, oh, I can definitely sell on her because she's probably insecure because she doesn't have abs, and she goes to the gym and probably sees people with abs. So then they slide on into my DMs and they're like, do you want to talk about being a body what is it called? Beachbody coach, or do you want to talk about this coffee that you can sell, or help me out? And do you want to look at the supplementation? Like, and I'm just like, no, I don't, because they're looking at me, they're seeing that they think I'm insecure, and luckily I'm not because I've worked a lot on myself. But there's a lot of people that are, and if they were in my DMs 2 years ago, I'd probably be like, I want to do that. Like, I'm so miserable in my body, and if this is going to help me feel good, then I want to use it. And then once I use that and then I start feeling good, I'm going to want to sell it to other people to make them feel good. And it's just like this whole list of things that ends up happening. And it just it sickens me that they're feeding off your insecurities to make a quick buck. Like, some people, I do believe, like that situation, they feel good after they do it, and then they want to help people do it. And it's only because, yes, you're going to feel good. You're going to feel almost like a high for the first couple of weeks or month or whatever. But it's always within like 90 days, I've seen. At the 90-day mark, tell me if that person feels as good as they did when they started. Because they most likely don't. I don't know. I can't say 100% because I don't have the statistic, but I see it. I see it all the time. It's another thing with like the keto diet. I don't disagree with the keto diet because I don't know. I've never tried it. I know low carbs don't work for me, but maybe somebody can do low carbs and they feel amazing. Like, I have no idea. It just never worked for me. But something I noticed with the keto diet is that people are being sold these things and that told that they're keto friendly, and they're being sold on them, and they're like, say a $6 bar, or like, maybe that's exaggerating, but say like a $4 or $5 bar, and then you look at it and the bar has like 15 or 16 grams of carbs in it, and it's like, okay, cool, that's like a third of what you're supposed to eat in the day. So your snack has that. So what are you supposed to eat for meals? Just chicken? Oh wait, that's the carnivore diet. But anyways, it doesn't sound very pleasing to me. So anyways, they're being sold these products from companies that are feeding off all these like trends and your insecurities, and it sickens me. Like, it bugs the crap out of me that people and companies can do that. Like, do they not have a conscience? Do they not like sit there and think about how it's going to actually make you feel and hurt your body? It just drives me nuts. It's like the coaches I used to have that were like, "Oh, you have an eating disorder? Well, that's too bad. You should just keep going because you're just competing. You're not dying like the people I work with." Which I had a coach say to me before when I told them I had an eating disorder. They told me that to suck it up, and it's my choice to compete, and if I want to compete, I better start working out harder. When I wasn't losing 2 pounds a week, only 1.5 pounds. Anyways, I'm sorry guys, but it drives me insane. The fact that people, and especially when it's people that are close to you, I want to like see the good in everyone, so I just feel like they're at a point where they think it's like the best thing for you, and they don't realize how much it's going to hurt your body. But then you see people that have been doing it for years and years and years, and they know dang well that they're not drinking those shakes every day, but then they're going to the consumer and saying they are, and they're feeding off people and saying, look at my abs, like, you want abs like these, you better drink this shake 3 days or 3 times a month, or god damn it, I'm getting frustrated. 3 times a day, and eat your 2 protein bars, and you can have chicken and vegetables for lunch and supper. Like, I don't know. It just drives me nuts. I will never do that. I have been approached by 2 people in a company, I'm not going to say, it was the same company, asking me if I wanted to sell their products and their supplements. Actually, 3. 2 of the same, one a different one. Asking me if I wanted to sell certain supplements to people. And the 2 ones were huge, and then they asked me, oh, well, do you want to be a coach? Because a coach is what I want to do, and they know that, and I like explain to them that I can't sell these things because I don't agree with it. Or one of them was like, you should sell, or you should do our workout plan and blah 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 blah, and I was like, I can't do that, it's at home and I'm a CrossFitter. And they're like, oh well, no, you can do this stuff like CrossFitting at home, like here's a video. And it had nothing to do with CrossFit. It was like, I don't even know, some silly thing like at home squats and stuff. And I was like, you literally aren't even listening to me. And that's what drives me nuts too, is when they approach me when I'm so open about having an eating disorder, and they approach me because they think I'm insecure because I'm not super fit or in shape. Like, I'm fit, but I'm not like muscles bulging out of every orifice. And they think like, oh, I'm gonna sell to this person, but they literally haven't even read my Facebook or like did any research on me. They just assume that I hate my body because I'm a woman and I'm not super skinny. And that drives me insane, because there's people out there that will be insecure, and then they feel like this is going to be the thing that helps them, and it's not. Anyways, so that's what a fad diet is. And sustainability is something, if you're eating a certain way and you can see yourself doing it for the rest of your life, you can see yourself with your kids having those meals together and your significant other having those meals together, then that's the sustainability part of it. That is something that you're going to be able to do. And for most people, this is going to include the chicken and vegetables and the oatmeal and the berries and the fruit, but it's also going to include chocolate bars and some Oreos and some Reese cups, which is chocolate bars, but I love them, and some chips and things like that. And then I'm going to do another video on what balance is and what, like, this is something I always ask, is how often is moderation? Because I feel like moderation is a whole another like sexy word that people use, and it's like a hype word or whatever those types of things are called. Because think about it, what is moderation? Like, what is it? Anyways, I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to do that in a different video. I just wanted to kind of get on here and just basically explain why these things drive me up a wall. And it's because I care about people. Like, I care how you're going to feel, not 90 days from now when you lost the, I don't know, 20 pounds or whatever, and you think like you're the best shape of your life, and now people are gonna love you, and now you're gonna love yourself and all this stuff. And then you get there and you're like, I still feel the same, what's going on? Now I want to just lose more weight because it's obviously the weight. I care about how you feel 10 years from now, that you can look in the mirror and not go, oh my god, oh gross, like what is this, I want you to look in the mirror and be like, okay, cool, and walk away. And that's it. I just want people to love themselves. I'm so sick and tired of these people feeding off us hating ourselves and selling us products that aren't going to make us love ourselves, but say they will. And then you go through it, and then your 3 months is up, and you still feel the same, but you lost 20 pounds, and 10 of it is water. I want you to truly love yourselves. And I think that comes with sustainability, so the treats and the non-processed foods. So anyways, I'm sorry, I want to cut this off now because it's 20 minutes and I don't want to make it another 30-minute long video. I just wanted to kind of give you like a lie spot for if it's a fad. always ask yourself, can I do this for 5 years or the rest of my life, which is the main goal, but when you're starting out, we'll say 5 years. Ask yourself if you're happy, if you're feeling fed, if you're not starving, because you shouldn't be hungry to the point that you are like hurting. Your stomach hurts, you're so hungry, and then you're like, oh well, I can't eat for another 3 hours. Like, that shouldn't be it. There's a better way. And if you're getting nutritious foods that make you feel good, like you actually feel good, because before I used to feel bloated constantly, and if I ate like a cookie, I would be like bloated and you could see it, because I was so used to not eating that kind of stuff. And I would just tell myself, oh, it's because I just eat good all the time. But no, it's because your body is like rejecting it at that point, because you're so used to not eating it. But now I could eat like, I don't know, I don't eat like my 2 cookies every day, and I don't feel like that. And my weight doesn't fluctuate up and down like it used to either. It just takes time. It really does. But ask yourself those things. Like, do I feel good? Is my body feeling good? Like, I feel good emotionally. I feel good physically. I have no bloat. And is this something I can do for 5 years? And see if this is something I would feed my kid. That's another thing. If you're not going to feed your kid your body shape, I don't know, I just made that up, but like, whatever, body shakes, then why are you eating it? And yeah, I don't know. Sorry guys, I just want to rant. And I love you guys, and I hope you guys love yourselves and can look in the mirror and just be so happy. And I don't look in the mirror every day and think I'm like the hottest thing in the world, like, but I do look in the mirror and that's it, and I walk away. There's no dwelling on it. And I just want everyone else to get there too. And I don't sell anything. And I could, but I don't. So anyways, see you guys.